Hi, this is Miss Pat from San Luis Public Library. Today in Science Scouts, we're going to learn about the Jedi mind trick to crush a bottle. Now, really what we're going to do is learn how to crush a bottle using science and not your hands. So our story today is called Squish, Squash, Squeeze by Tracey Corderoy. Mouse's new house had shady trees and a roof like a witch's hat. It had creaky steps and flower pots and poles for muddy boots. Ooh, cried Mouse as he marched on in. It's just right. Mouse quickly pushed the cobwebs away. And look, a piano, he smiled. He jumped right up and started to play. Plink, plonk, plonk, plink, plink, plonk. But all of a sudden, whoa, a big brown bear burst out. I am a scary bear in a scary house, and there's no room, not even for a mouse. Mouse folded his arms. You don't scare me, Mr. Grumblepants. There's plenty of room for both of us, so there. With that, Mouse started to unpack his books. Bear, you can help too, he smiled. Mouse skipped away up the stairs, all the way to the bathroom. But when he peeked around the door, snap! There was a crocodile in the bathtub. I am a scary croc in a scary house, and there's no room here, not even for a mouse. Mouse shook his head. There's plenty of room, Mr. Snippy Snap, he said. Now, my plants need a drink, so please turn on the water. Bit by bit, Mouse squeezed all of his things into the tiny house. Only 2 more boxes, he said, trotting through the hall. But before he could unpack them, he heard a huge whoosh. And a tiger came sliding down the banister. I am a scary eek! The tiger squealed as he flew off the end. And crash! Now look what you done, grumbled Bear. What a mess you made, snapped Crocodile. I just went too fast, Tiger sighed. I'm sorry. Enough, said Mouse. Let's clean up, and then we can have some tea. With a wiggle and a jiggle and a squish, squash, squeeze, there was just enough room for the 4 of them. Back up a bit, Bear, Tiger growled. Move your tail, Tiger, grumbled the bear. Excuse me, squeaked Crocodile, but I can't reach my teacup. Just then there was a strange rumble underneath the floor. Oh my, cried Mouse. What was that? It sounded like something big, gulped Bear. And scary, gasped Tiger. Rumble, rumble, thump. It's coming closer, Crocodile cried, his teeth chattering. The noise grew louder and louder until the teacups jumped in their saucer. It sounds like it's in our house, Tiger trembled. What if it wants to live here too? There was only one thing to do. Mouse stood tall and shouted in his biggest voice, I am a scary mouse in a scary house, and there's no... Down, down, down tumbled Mouse through a giant hole in the floor. He landed with a bump and looked around. Oops, said a little mole, blinking at the mess. I must have dug a little too much, and now I've made this great big hole under your house. I'm so sorry. But Mouse started to smile. Don't be silly, he said. This hole is just what we need. And with a wiggle and a jiggle, this time there really was plenty of room for everyone. All right. So we are going to learn how to crush a bottle using our mind. And actually, like I said, it's going to be more using air pressure. All right, so air pressure is not able to crush you on the earth, right? The air is pushing down in all directions, but the air inside your body is also pushing out. That's why you don't get crushed by every time you go outside. Even the bubbles that this little boy here is blowing with the gum, there's air inside the bubble and it's pushing back just while the air outside is pushing in. And if the air on both sides is even, right, nothing gets crushed. It stays like it's supposed to. All right, so pressure is the force that's pushing down on an area, but air pressure is the weight of the column inside. So you can see here. All right, so the air is pushing out and the air is pushing in. But when there's less air inside, the air outside pushes it in and squashes the can. Why would there be less air inside? Okay, so if you look at the first picture, it shows you this steam. Hot air, remember, lets a lot of hot air out. Everything's all spread out. Okay, so we're going to put hot water in a bottle. It's going to heat up the air inside. And then we're going to trap the hot air inside. And when we put this stuff in the ice water, it's going to cool down. And the cool air is going to kind of get closer together. So instead of the hot air being all over the place, cool air is going to get a little bit closer together. And that means the air pressure on the outside is going to be able to push it in. All right, kind of like when you guys are bouncing on couches and beds, right? Those are like the steam molecules in the warm water. Okay, see how much room these guys take up? But when they sit down close together like this to look at whatever's on that telephone, okay, that's like cool down air molecules. Okay, so they're a lot closer, and that makes a lot more room for the air on the outside to push in. All right, so let me get my helpers and our bottle, and we will. All right, so when you guys come in, we're going to give you a water bottle and instructions. Everything else you have at home. Now, the water bottle won't have the label on it, and it'll be empty. It's been washed. What you're going to need is really hot water. Okay, so we're going to put really hot water in here. And Anna can feel the bottle. That's hot. Okay, and this is my grandson, Anakin. Need a real Jedi for this, right? Mm-hmm. All right, and we're just going to squish the warm water all around so that the inside is really warm. Now, remember how to do this with the Jedi trick? You're just going to wave your hand and think, I want it to crush. See how the bottle is not crushed, right? So you ready? I'm going to put it in the cold water. I'm sorry, I have cold ice water here. Okay, and we're going to put it in here. And so wave your hand. All right, think about how you want it to crush. All right, and all I'm doing is making sure the top is on. Maybe I don't have enough hot water. All right, think so? Didn't crushed a little bit on the side. I think we need a little bit more hot water. Problem is, I'm not doing it by the sink where the really hot water is. I have too much water in here too. So we're gonna, I'm just gonna dump out the hot water. So now it's just hot and it's an empty bottle. Now, thinking about it? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. You can hear it crunk. All All right, so you can see it has definitely, you can hold the bottle up at the top. I move the, all right, so it's definitely crunched and you could hear it making those crunching noises as it was doing this. So this is not you aren't going like this and squishing it. This is due to the air temperature inside being cooler off, because I remember I dumped the hot water out. It cooled off, and then the pressure from the cold water actually just pushed it in. So again, if you guys are interested, come into the library, right? Get your bag, your science kit for the week, and enjoy.